4. Ephesians chapter 4. We'll start reading at verse 1. Ephesians chapter 4. Okay. Ephesians chapter 4, starting at verse 1. I think I'm going to read the first 3 verses. Ephesians chapter 4 reads, "As a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace." May God add a blessing to the reading, hearing, and doing of His word. Let us pray. Gracious Father, I ask now in these next few moments that you speak through me. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Amen. Amen. Seated. I use this Bible here. This is.
Did you want?
No, that's good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I done read it. And so I read this Bible because it's here and it has big print. So when your eyes go bad, you got to get big print. Even when you got glasses, I get it. Let me speak personally for me. But this Bible doesn't read like my Bible at home. My Bible at home talks about walking worthy and walking. Some of you all should have walking 2 or 3 times in that text. And I really wanted to highlight the word walk because we have been walking in plenty in 2020. And I have to make sure that I keep this theme going about walking. And walking is not as much as physically walking, but walking in an attitude or having an attitude that helps you understand that you will walk in plenty and you will have plenty in 2020. And so you see we have, I know it's first Sunday and I know the pastors are in there, clergy, and I was trying to be obedient to Sister Orr as the praise and worship leader. We were supposed to wear African attire, so I'm trying to do that. I'm wearing African attire because this is Black History Month. And so whenever you think about Black History Month, of course, y'all, we know Black history should be celebrated yearly. It shouldn't be condensed to 1 month. And so as I was listening to Anissa's testimony, and she was wondering why she probably had to say that, well, I'm glad she ended the way she ended. And because I was thinking, okay, I think we need to do a little education just so people understand what this stuff is all about. And so I'm trying to preach and teach simultaneously. Amen. So give y'all a lesson to take home. And so Black History Month was founded by Carter G. Woodson in 1926, and it was originally the Negro Week. And so he wanted to celebrate the accomplishments of Black folks, even way back then in 1926. And again, people say, why did he pick the shortest month of the year to be Black History Month? The reason Black History Month was picked for February because it's the birthday of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. And if you know what significance they have, Abraham Lincoln is the one who was supposed to have abolished or cut down, broke up, closed down slavery. We know that's not true in the 21st century, but we're gonna keep on going. Y'all not ready for that lesson yet. And I'm just joking with y'all because we experience things every day. Frederick Douglass was a great abolitionist, and he was a pioneer for Black history and Black movement, helping social justice, helping us reach a place of equal rights. Let's just say that. And so as we think about that, I was thinking about how oftentimes when you think about Black history, you think about the Dr. Kings and Harriet Tubmans and Sojourner Truths and Malcolm X. Some of y'all say no, but I say Malcolm X as well. And all these heroes and sheroes, I think we need to have knowledge of. But as I was praying this morning, I believe God says we look to these heroes, but we have heroes and sheroes right in our midst, right in our families. Amen. And I know everybody's family is not perfect. Everybody's family wasn't a church family. So what? It doesn't matter. You have greatness in your family. Amen. And it's so important that we look to the people in our families. So one thing I want y'all to do, if you don't mind, as we go through this week, I want you to, we are an oral tradition, whether you all know it or not. So we are talking people because they didn't allow us to read. They didn't allow us to write, so we had to talk. So now we got some skills, now we can read and write, but sometimes we still don't like to write. I think writing is a lost art because of social media and texting and all that. We don't take the time to write and communicate. What I want you all to do is write a story. Write a narrative about the most impactful family member that you have in your family that has impacted you. Anybody not understand what I'm asking y'all to do? They don't have to be alive. No. Do you understand what I'm asking? Yes, I'm asking y'all to turn it in. It's like school. I am. I want to read. Because if you know your history, it'll be more beneficial for you to learn somebody else's history. Let that rest on you. Let me say this a different way. When you learn to love yourself, it makes it easier for you to learn to love others and for others to love you.
Yeah. Say that again.
When you love yourself, it makes it easier for you to love others and for others to love you. Why, G? Okay, you're going to get all psychological on us today. Absolutely. Because if you really understand what walking in plenty in 2020, you'll understand that we have to be psychological. Psychological is all about being in your mental. If I can get you, it is my job, it is our job as pastors to help our congregants get skills to empower them to affect the community, like our mission statement says, both naturally and spiritually. I got a testimony too. The pastor's already heard it. I may have told y'all, but I'm going to say it again. I had a parent get on the bus and cuss a kindergartner out, right? Cussed him out and told him he was going to whoop his mama and his daddy. I'm whooping you and I whoop everybody because you don't mess with my son. That's what she said to a kindergarten parent kid. What do you think the kindergarten kid's daddy did? Somebody talking to my kid? So he comes up to the schools and blasts me. What kind of school y'all got? What are y'all going to do about this? I'm pressing charges, blah, 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 blah. I said, hold up, man. Let's do this. Let's have a family meeting. So I got the mama and him and his wife, and she brought, all the family members. And so we had a meeting. Can I tell y'all how escalated the meeting was? The meeting was so out of control. Everybody yelling and screaming. I had to step back and just watch. But what I said in my brain was this. If I'm going to walk in plenty in 2020, I have the power rolling on the inside of me that I can bring some order to this foolishness.
Amen.
That's affecting something naturally because these folks got to get under control because they're escalating. Well, guess what? The meeting turned out amazingly. When I was telling people about it, they couldn't believe and I said it happened because of what lives on the inside of me, and I activated it.
Amen.
The text says in Ephesians that we must walk worthy of our calling. Now, we've been talking about your inner strength. We've been talking about understanding God's love. We've been talking about God will do abundantly above anything that we can ask or think. He got it like that. Then Paul says, but you got to walk worthy of the calling. Do you all understand that there are principles and ethics that come with this walk with Christ?
Yes.
Let me say that again. There are principles and ethics that come with walking with Christ. And Alyssa had the audacity to stand up and say, I am angry and I need prayer. Guess what? God got some ethics tactics and some courses of action and some strategies when people come and mess up your yoga class.
Say it. Say it.
He got some strategies when people call you ain't your mama.
Yes.
Jesus. He has a strategy in his word that will help you overcome the situation. Well, y'all need to talk. And he's so good. But are we willing to submit our will so we can humbly? Is humbly in the text?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boy, to walk humbly. Yes, Sophie, he got one for you, even though you go to the range. It's funny, it's a lot of saints going to the range lately. So I get the question, is it okay for saints to have guns? Anybody got that question besides me? I'm the only one that's getting that question? Well, you know what I tell them? What I love about God, and y'all might not agree, this is Gillespie for real. This is my own thought and my own theology about this. God gives us individual directions for individual situations.
Say that again.
Some of you saints can carry a gun. Some of you other ones cannot. I know y'all don't like this kind of preaching. I'm really trying to help us walk worthy of this call. God has different rules. God is not fair. No, he's not fair. He's just.
Amen.
And what the difference between fair and just is, if I got $1 and there's 4 people, fair says everybody get 25 cents, right? What's just is if this person needs 86 cents and we all got to split 14, that's what just is.
All right now.
So he does what's just. He understands some of y'all temperaments.
Well,
If you got a gun, you're going to use a gun. The right way or the wrong way. I know the law says we can protect ourselves. Absolutely. You can conceal and carry. That's the law. But some of y'all don't have the self-control to carry a gun. And God said, don't carry one. Well, I need to protect myself. Well, depend on me because you don't have the emotional strength right now to carry a gun.
well,
That's right. That is right. Ooh, that's right.
It's right. No, it's right. Y'all get mad. Because God make y'all stop doing stuff that's not a sin. Serious.
you better preach.
I'm going to give y'all an easy one.
Give us a
My auntie, I don't want to give you a hard one because folks don't want to deal with the hard ones. An easy one is this. My aunt loves to bowl. She was a nationwide bowler. God said, you got to stop bowling. What? You got to stop bowling. Broke her heart, but she was obedient and she stopped. Now, is bowling a sin? Oh, no, bowling's not a sin. But she had to stop because God had to do something with her around bowling. He may have something to do something with some of us around stuff that's not sinful. That's when he's talking about walking worthy. We have to listen to what he's instructing us to do. Because some of this stuff we want to argue with him. That ain't biblical. Yeah, it's biblical. You got to be obedient. If he tell you to do something, it's biblical. Y'all know how you get deep? When you get deep, if it doesn't say it exactly.
Right. Right.
Word game.
Ooh, we mastered that word games. Didn't say that. It didn't say that exactly. Okay. And we wonder why we live in defeated lives. I don't count it strange that we have probably a membership, people that come, probably less than 60, but we have women getting honored and 2 of them go to our church. I'm not talking about Alyssa yet. I'm just talking about Miss Netta and Sister Orr. They're being honored. We got two women being honored right now. Mother Everhard and Pastor A are being honored at a church right now. They're getting an award right now for what they do
Right now.
in the community. Now hold up now. You got people getting awards. And this has got so many awards, we do want to celebrate her. But bigger than that, what I want y'all to realize is we have a church that's living out its mission. We don't do stuff for awards.
Amen.
But we want to do award-getting behavior, though.
Yes. Yes.
Amen. That's it.
Because sometimes you're not going to get noticed for what you do.
That's right. That's right.
And that cannot be your motivation. Your motivation has to be you want to walk worthy. That is call. Paul, he said, I therefore a prisoner. That's what the text said. That's what the first line say.
Yeah.
He was saying, I am a prisoner to the ethics and behaviors of Christ.
Yeah. Amen.
You can't do what you want to do when somebody make you mad. We're going to be mad. Somebody going to make us uncomfortable. Somebody going to, woo!
Amen.
It's because of what we have on the inside of us. It's our blessing and our curse.
Yes. Well.
And we have to be able to handle that. Because all that stress and strife is coming because Satan wants to stop us from reaching our full potential. As I was listening to Sister McGregor testify, Anissa had a testimony a few Januaries ago about how she had her greatest month in January. I don't know exactly what was going on, but I remember her testifying about it. And so, yeah, walking in plenty in 2020 is a little lightweight wine. Okay? Yeah, I know it's lightweight. You think it's lightweight, but I tell you, it has magnitudes of power if you tap into it. Because when you understand that you're walking, why does Sister Orr have to wait this long in her career to get all this stuff going on? I say it's God's timing. I say God sometimes tests our faithfulness.
Well.
And sometimes it gets greater later.
That's it.
And sometimes we don't have the patience to endure some things. She on TV, she gonna do all these on the radio, because she need to go and get this CD done.
Yes.
Y'all know what's incredible to me is some of this stuff is so easy. Y'all will listen to the radio and they say, well, we got Rush the Flush a long time ago. Rush the Flush. People used to put stuff on the radio that they do themselves. Man, they got so many computer programs, you can make an album. Those who listen to my daughter's music, she's gonna be mad at me. She done dropped a few little. Her dad ain't allowed to listen to it. Praise God. We're gonna keep on moving. And those who can, thank you. But she didn't drop some hits. Josh got hits and albums. Come on, Sister Orr.
Amen.
You're a professional.
Amen.
They some lightweights. You're a professional.
Amen.
Why am I saying she's a professional? Because when you're a professional, there's another level of expectation.
Amen.
Some of these hindrances that we have are not always God's timing. Some of it is our laziness. And I'm not saying that to her. I don't know.
Work it out.
No, it might be, but I ain't calling that though. Y'all get on me for getting on people. I'm just making a blanket statement. Sometimes we are too scary to make the next move.
Work it out.
Sometimes it takes other people to see something in us that God is continually trying to show us. But sometimes God wants us to take a risk. That's why entrepreneurship is hard, because you're taking a risk and you're putting yourself out there.
That's it.
But I believe he says when we're walking in who he called us to be, it's going to be a risk because we have to trust. And trusting is not easy because trust makes us deal with unknown. And it's not comfortable. But walking worthy will never ever be comfortable. For those of you who think this walk will be comfortable, it never will be. Because we're always maturing, we're always progressing, we're always going. to higher heights and deeper depths. That's one of them old folks statements too. But that has a lot of significance as well. Paul is trying to help them. I'm going to get to the one body, one spirit. We'll do that. I told you I'm walking through the text slowly because I need us to understand what God is trying to get out of us. He's pulling us like he's squeezing the juice out of us. Then he's purifying us so all the stuff can get out of us so we can walk a walk that's strong. As I was reading this text, and I close with this, I was thinking about, well, who can I talk about that walk worthy of the call in my family? First thing I thought about was my mom. My mom has exemplified an energy that's unflappable as it relates to her relationship with Christ. She has ran a race, and she's ran a race so strong and fast. And she's stayed faithful in the midst of trouble, hardship. She's lost 2 husbands. And she has maintained. And that might not be nothing, but I'm realizing women, and when you talk about being by yourself, there's a safety that comes with being protected by a man.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
I wish y'all really today, I really wish I could see y'all faces.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
That's real talk, y'all. And yeah, we got some work to do. Because men are not being trained like they were in the old days. There's a new kind of expectation, and we're guilty on both parts because we haven't walked worthy. Church hasn't taught a lesson that has been internalized by the men or the women. Come on, y'all really gonna make me go there for 2 minutes? I'm out here now, so keep on, just gonna be out here.
Preach a word.
What happened to expectations, ladies? If I don't gotta work to get the goodies, oh no, he did. No, he did. I got kids in here.
Tell
if
it.
I ain't gotta work.
Tell it. Tell it. Tell it.
I ain't gotta work. I'm not gonna work. You let me get it. And you ain't saying, you ain't expecting nothing. What you expect?
Go ahead.
You never got anything. You said me, well, that's how you let it go. Man, I feel like my granddaddy, brother. My grandfather would say, this is sound doctrine, children. You gotta understand. I want healthy relationships.
It's healthy.
I thought it was 8-to-1. It's 11-to-1. Female to male. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
But some of us are too scared to have expectations. If I can sit up, I'm done. They sit up and play video games,
Go ahead.
and you bring me my plate, just sit back, kick back, I ain't gotta work. Listen, I'm not talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I have seen. What I've had reported to me by men and women.
Say it.
And I have to tell the brother, you comfortable letting somebody take care of you sitting up? Dude, you need to walk worthy of how you were created. Come on. We were created to serve.
Amen. Go ahead. Preach a word, Pastor.
Wow. Black History Month. Let me get back to my mama. I didn't show chase the rabbit.
That's all right.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
My mom would like me to talk like this because I understand, and you should understand the emotional hurt that comes with these types of situations, which hinders our ability to serve Christ effectively.
Go ahead now.
We have to do what we need to do and trust. I'll share this. You all remember when I had y'all fill out them cards and write down what you trusted God for that you really don't think will happen? If I could give y'all a percentage of how many said, I will never be married or I will never be in a relationship, it blew me out the water. I said, how can all these pretty, it's not about looks, y'all, please understand it's not about, how can all these pretty, educated children of God put themselves in a predicament where they feel like they're not man worthy? That's a scary piece when God created us to be in relationship. Y'all, this show wasn't in the notes. I didn't know I was getting ready to do this today. That's about self-esteem. That's about that inner knowing who you are. Going back to my first statement. If you love yourself enough, you will make it easy for people to love you and for you to love people. Because you come to a place of acceptance when I accept my flaws and my strengths, and I know I'm not perfect, but I am worthy of the best in spite of myself. So then I don't settle. Because once you start settling in one area, you start settling in all areas. The church, we have to pick up. I expect people in our church to do great things. You got a great pastor. What you expect? Boy, if you don't go sit down. I know you're going to talk. We have to know who we are. From a kid, I was told I was great and I was told I was somebody. That was banged into my head. Yes. You somebody. You a Gillespie. Yeah, that's what I was told. If you think I'm not telling Kamari and Mari and Josh that, Kamari ain't gonna walk around here like he's all that, but y'all gonna have to spank him sometimes. You're gonna have to yell at him sometimes, because he's gonna have a complex. I'm the pastor's grandson. I'm the first grandson. He gonna do it. Y'all have to expect that, but y'all can't love him so much that you can't bust his head. If you see him out here cutting up, that means you can't. He's not a piece of porcelain. You gotta handle him like a piece of porcelain, then you gotta handle him like he needs to be handled. That's the strength of who God is. He gives us the ability to love. Last week, Miss Netta said we gotta hold Chantel accountable, right? Now, Anissa gets up and says we need to pray for her. You all, Chantel needs to be at the top of our prayer list. But he ain't calling all of y'all to pray. Somebody's being called to go to her, and grab her by her hand and tell her she's gonna be okay. You don't gotta preach a sermon. Walking worthy is about showing love. All of us show love differently. Man, these pants is killing me. I'm done with this. All my pants get to tie it slide down. I'm trying not to fall down. I had to let y'all have a church moment that y'all never ever forget in life.
You're gonna be all right.
You're gonna be all right.
Help the Lord.
Help him, Jesus.
Listen, when you're and this is what we have to understand. Y'all need to know this. I don't pray for a mega church. I pray for an effective church. And so what that means is we may never ever get to 300 to 200 people. But when you're in a small church, your behaviors are magnified. What you do well or what you do wrong is seen by everybody because we're a small church. Not that we want to function as a small town with a small town mentality, but it's a fact. And because we care, we have to learn how to handle that in a way that's loving and life-giving. We don't want to kill her. Right now, she's probably on the cusp. It's very delicate. And y'all, we have the ability to save somebody's life. And I think I know we're going to do it. We got to do it. So God is telling you to do something extra.
Say it.
I hear y'all. Well, that's your gifting. That's what God's calling you to do. Do it. No, they may not see you. Yeah, it might be your Super Bowl party money. I was going to say, I hope everybody that skipped church that's planning for the Super Bowl party, I hope their team lose. Well, somebody's team going to lose because somebody going for the Chiefs and somebody going for the 49ers that missed church to prepare for their party. When we get to a point where those superficial things that last only for a small moment have more importance than getting up and coming to church, when we really get to the point where we understand just coming here, just coming here. Sister Blunton said she hurt her back, and just because she went to Holy Yoga and got her hands were laid on her. It wasn't a missing, but it was the guy on the inside of a missing that did the act to touch her, to give her the ability to move, have some mobility. That's because you press your way to the house. You press your way to his presence, not my presence, his presence. Because he's the one who does all the work. And I hope something today was said. You go home mad if I hit your relationship, so what? Get it together. Get it together. Get your mind together. That's all you have to get together. They will love us more, men and women, when you set limits. We too easy. Go ahead. Pastor, Dr. Austin and Pastor, come on, grab these trays. Man, come on, help me. It's just come on the wall says that's all. That's all, folks. Stop talking. This green, they got this green on me. Stop.
I love it.
On the night Jesus was, let's stand. On the night Jesus was betrayed, he took the bread and he broke it. He said, this is my body which has been broken for you. He also took the cup and said, this cup represents my blood, a new covenant that went down the cross. There'll be a new way of salvation. And he told him, as often as you think of this, do this in remembrance of me. So today, as a symbol of Christ shed on the cross, we celebrate the Lord's Supper. Let us pray. God, I thank you for a chance to celebrate